I'm Faywa, and let's queer up politics. CBS puts new out editor-in-chief Bari Weiss center stage with Erika Kirk town hall. CBS News is thrusting its new lesbian editor-in-chief, Bari Weiss, into the spotlight with a televised town hall featuring Erika Kirk, the widow of recently assassinated conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The program, airing December 13th and first reported by The Guardian, will be recorded in New York and framed as a conversation about grief, faith, politics, and more. The broadcast is Weiss's first major on-air appearance since taking over the newsroom this fall after Paramount Skydance acquired her outlet, The Free Press. Her appointment is historic. She's among the very few out queer journalists to lead a major U.S. network newsroom, but also deeply polarizing within LGBTQ plus communities. As noted by The Advocate, Weiss has built her reputation by criticizing woke politics, opposing gender-affirming care, and elevating voices that LGBTQ plus advocates say marginalize trans and non-binary people. She rose to national prominence in 2020 after resigning from the New York Times with a letter alleging ideological conformity, later expanding the Free Press into a hub for so-called heterodox journalism. Featuring Kirk, now CEO of Turning Point USA, in Weiss's first CBS broadcast underscores the ideological tensions surrounding her leadership, even as the network pursues an editorial reboot. Look, I will always celebrate queer visibility, especially in major newsrooms that matter, though. But Bari Weiss is stepping into as editor while platforming Erika Kirk in her very first CBS event. That's a choice, okay? Visibility is great, but not when it comes at the expense of our own communities. And that's basically what she's doing. Queer leadership should expand our voices, not hand the mic to people who work against us. So yes, historic, but also super complicated, and I can't applaud it.
Yeah, and I always wonder, like, situations like this, like, I guess that, CBS wants to do this interview with Charlie Kirk, and it just happened that, this news editor is their new lesbian news editor, so it's kind of like a series of unfortunate events that have lined up. I think it's a great opportunity for her to have this interview and ask these hard-hitting questions, because I think that's what journalism needs to come back too, and hopefully we'll see how this interview unfolds and what Erika Kirk has to say. But yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be very telling, this first interview, and to see her direction with how she takes this news department. So I celebrate the fact that she's a lesbian and she's in this position, but she definitely needs to be much more aware of her community.
She's a lesbian that doesn't support trans or non-binary people. So
yeah,
that to me is not part of my community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a crap if you label yourself a lesbian. I know Republican lesbians. And I know lesbians that don't think that trans women are women, and I don't deal with those women.
Exactly.
And we know a lot of people in our we know a lot of people in our community that don't support each other, and I think that's just, on the surface level, it's a huge problem in the community for, groups of people who always fight for inclusivity and having a voice at the table, and we don't support each other. Yeah. I think that we need to start coming together as one collective group and stop dividing each other by letters in an alphabet, unfortunately, to fight for
when it comes to stuff like this, 100%.
Yeah, we need to start fighting and representing each other.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, oh yeah, out, she's a lesbian, blah, blah, blah. She's not bringing any of our issues or anything that's going on with our community into that newsroom. Yeah. At least I don't feel like she will. Maybe she'll surprise me.
We'll see.
Who knows?
We'll see what's going to happen.
Adriana, your smirk is telling me everything.
It's just, it seems like she's going to be, I don't think that she's even able to talk about our issues, particular
Oh, you think they're going to... Yeah,
they're going to silence her, of course.
Yeah. Very interesting.
And she's doing a job. She's just going to do her job and clock in and clock out and not necessarily talk about her issues. Right. I mean, she has an opportunity to she has a huge platform, a huge opportunity to advocate amongst the community. Yeah. So it'd be really interesting to see if she uses that platform to be able to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm agreed.
Yeah, I mean, if it's anything like after, I didn't watch it, but I remember that after Charlie Kirk's assassination, they had a memorial for him, correct? Right? Was that where she had the leather pants on and J.D. Vance hugged her?
I think that was another event, but yeah.
Okay, but there was a million people. There was a lot of people. So of course, like you said, it's going to be a huge opportunity,
right?
If done correctly. But I doubt that she's going to be representing us during that time, at least for now. You know what I mean? It's not for her benefit right now. You know what I mean? Especially with the widow of Charlie Kirk. I don't see that. But we will definitely be watching. How about that? There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.